High above the valleys of Nepal, where clouds drift slowly across jagged stone walls, mad honey begins its story. This honey is not defined by intensity or mystery, but by place. The towering Himalayan cliffs, the thin mountain air, the rhythm of seasons, and the flowers that bloom for only a short time all come together to shape its character. To understand mad honey, you first have to understand the land that creates it. The Himalayan region of Nepal is unlike almost any other place on Earth. Steep cliffs rise suddenly from deep river valleys, forcing villages to cling to the mountainsides. These cliffs are not just dramatic scenery, they control how people live, how bees survive, and how honey forms. The vertical rock faces limit farming space, protect forests from overuse, and create natural boundaries that have stayed unchanged for generations. In this environment, nature sets the rules and humans learn to follow them. Altitude plays a quiet but powerful role, as elevation increases, temperatures drop, oxygen thins, and plant life changes. The bees that produce mad honey live at heights where only certain flowers can survive. This isolation means fewer competing plant species and a very focused source of nectar. The bees adapt to colder nights, strong winds, and short flowering seasons, which influences how they forage and store honey. The result is a honey that reflects the calm intensity of high mountains rather than speed or abundance. Climate in the Himalayas moves in clear cycles. Long winters slow everything down, while spring arrives with sudden life. Snow melts into mountain streams, warming the soil just enough for flowers to bloom. Summers are short and powerful, followed by misty monsoon rains that nourish forests but also test the strength of cliffside homes. These seasonal shifts shape when bees can work and how long nectar is available. Mad honey is produced during a narrow window, making each harvest a response to timing rather than force. The flowers themselves are central to the story. High-altitude rhododendron forests cover parts of the Himalayan slopes, their bright blooms standing out against dark stone and green valleys. These flowers grow where few others can, rooted in thin soil and cooled by mountain air. Their nectar carries the identity of the region, shaped by mineral-rich ground, clean water, and constant altitude stress. Bees collecting from these flowers create honey that holds the signature of the mountains, not just sweetness, but depth shaped by environment. Human tradition is woven into this natural system. Mountain communities, especially those living near the cliffs, have observed bees and seasons for centuries. Honey collection is not rushed or industrial. It is planned around weather, flowering patterns, and respect for the bees. Villages pass down knowledge through stories and experience rather than written guides. The cliffs demand patience, and that patience becomes part of the honey's identity. Life in these villages is closely tied to geography. Homes are built from stone and wood sourced nearby, often stacked along terraces carved into slopes. From these homes, people can see the cliffs where bees build their hives, sometimes hundreds of feet above the valley floor. The distance and difficulty act as a natural limit, preventing overharvesting and maintaining balance. In this way, the land itself protects the honey and the traditions around it. The cliffs also shape perspective. Standing at the edge of a Himalayan rock face, you become aware of scale and time. Bees move slowly and carefully, flowers bloom briefly and disappear. Humans harvest only when conditions allow. Nothing here is rushed. Mad honey becomes a reflection of this pace, shaped by restraint, observation, and deep connection to place. When you look at mad honey through this lens, it is no longer just a product. It is a landscape in liquid form. Every jar carries the story of cold nights, steep climbs, flowering forests, and villages that have learned to live in harmony with stone and sky. The Himalayan cliffs do not simply surround the honey, they define it. If you want to keep exploring real stories shaped by nature and tradition, subscribe for authentic information from the Himalayas.